and gentlemen, to the Power Hour. This is Joyce Riley, and I thank you for joining us in the Power Hour today. I thank you for supporting the truth, for being willing to step outside that big black flat screen box that tries to run your life and tell you what to think. We're going to be talking to our guest today, Bob Chapman. Bob Chapman seems to have an inside on what's happening in the financial arena. How he does it, I don't know, but you know what? I really enjoy every Monday when we get to talk to him. He is the editor of the International Forecaster newsletter, theinternationalforecaster.com, and we encourage you to get a complimentary copy of it, check it out, and decide if that's what you want to subscribe to, and I can't imagine why you would not. Bob Chapman, thank you so much for joining us in the Power Hour today.
Well, thank you very much. It's good to be back again.
Good to have you with us. We were just talking about what is happening with Cuomo and releasing of these 100,000 debt cases in New York State. Bill from Tennessee told us that he thinks that perhaps this is the foreboding of something that all states may do if they set the precedent in New York State, and that this might have some really far-reaching problems for our financial industry or the debt industry. Any comments you'd like to make on that?
Well, I think they're somewhat apart. I think that what you've seen here by the collection agencies is really nothing new. It's just that Mr. Cuomo decided to step in and put a halt to all of the nasty proceedings that they'd gone through over the years. And this one was very egregious, so it was pretty easy to go after. And the law firms are all involved in it. They know what goes on. They don't care. And so I think that's excellent, wonderful. And I wish him great success in his prosecutions, and that's the sort of thing that Attorney General should be doing, not what our AG in Washington is doing. As far as it leading to a problem with the banking system, I don't think so. There are other things that would cause that problem, mainly the value of the dollar more than anything else. As we all know, we're being told that there's green shoots everywhere, which is idiotic, and that this recession is probably over, and that is equally idiotic. In fact, the statement in Canada, by whom I don't know, but somebody within government, who said that, yes, we're going to start to sell U.S. Treasuries because their problems are over. These people within government and within the financial industries in most countries have absolutely no morality whatsoever. They lie about everything. And I think what Mr. Cuomo should do in New York State is continue the work of Eliot Spitzer. And let's go after Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan Chase, Citigroup, and the rest of the crooks on Wall Street, where incidentally I spent 28 years. And let's stop them from doing what they've been doing.
Now, when you say continue the work of Eliot Spitzer, what are you talking about?
Eliot Spitzer was the AG prior to Mr. Cuomo, and he left his job because he became governor of the state of New York. He got involved in some nasty personal happenings and resigned from the governorship of the state. He's writing articles now. He's an attorney, of course. And what he did while he was in office was he went after the crooks on Wall Street. And he was lured into an extramarital situation by his enemies and destroyed in the public's eyes because of it. And he was totally neutralized, as was the programs that he had started within the AG's office. And that means going after companies like Maurice Greenberg and AIG and Lehman Brothers and Bear Stearns, both of which have gone under, and the other firms on Wall Street that are getting away with financial murder.
Well, it seems that Cuomo is not exactly known to be a patriot or on the side of those that are trying to support the Constitution. So this move that he's making right now with 100,000 debt cases just seems to be awfully extreme.
Well, it might be considered that, but it's really his job. And Maybe he has aspirations to be president of the United States or something. This is the kind of thing that Tom Dewey did, and in 1948 they thought he was a shoo-in to be the nominee, and at the end he was not. But the AG's office has perennially been a stepping stone to bigger and better things.
Well, I'm just glad to see that he's making the stand. I worry, though, what this is going to do to the debt collection industry. Any ideas there?
Well, I think it'll make them perhaps follow the law.
What a concept.
I mean, that would be a wonderful situation. I mean, these attorneys have been getting away with financial murder for years. And the collections agencies, I understand why we have to have them, but there are rules. And, I see people who don't pay their bills because of whatever legitimate reason. And they've done them for 10 or 15 years. I mean, it's just incredible what they're allowed to get away with.
Yeah, the abuses, absolutely, absolutely. Well, let's talk about, if we could, I want to discuss with you the health care program, because I think that this is just the biggest dead elephant in the living room that nobody's even asking a question about. You don't even see the physicians. I get the physicians asking questions. I noticed that when I look at the so-called experts that are on television supposed to be discussing this subject, they're all commentators. They're all paid activists. They're all talking heads. They're all young girls with blonde hair and a law degree. Whether they practiced or not, I don't know, with cleavage and short skirts on, talking about the health care program. You don't see any physicians. You don't see any scientists. You don't see any accountants up there. I mean, it's as if they're playing like the experts are really these, 23-year-old blonde info babes.
Well, I think that we always have to look at the fact that television and Hollywood want attractive, scantily clad women, hopefully with a brain in their head, in the forefront. And that draws people to watch. Mm-hmm. And that's a shame. On CNBC is rife with it. I mean, you got a former hat check girl in a restaurant who's the main commentator. I mean, you've got to be kidding me. I've been in this for 50 years, and this bimbo is going to tell me, what to do, never mind the public, how they're being misled. The lies that come out of that program are absolutely legion. I mean, these people couldn't tell the truth if it hit them in the middle of the head. Mm. And so you're absolutely right. There are some very professional women on television who don't dress that way, probably refuse to, who do a wonderful job. But in the last 5 to 10 years especially, it's not been good, but the scantily clad part of it, of the 23-year-old or whatever, is something really new in the last 5 years. And I don't care who they put up there, as long as they tell the truth and they have a good mind. And that's not the case.
Well, my concern is that there's not anybody that represents true the true financial implications of this whole health care program. So the health care program is being debated by, InfoBabe A versus InfoBabe B. One's with the Republican organization, the other's with a Democratic, and they're acting like this is a political issue. It is not. This is the health and welfare of all the people of this country. It means that everybody will be controlled to the extent that they want to control them if this goes through. Because if they want to require you to have 10 shots a month, they can do so. Either that or you're not going to be included in the program. But you don't see any physicians on TV debating this, not one that I have seen.
Well, I think they're terrified of the American Medical Association. And as you know, you were involved in that area of professional life for some time. I once had a doctor I had as a subscriber who had been practicing in Washington, D.C. and thereabouts, and he left his position, and he went to Oregon or someplace. And I said, what made you switch? He said, the AMA is very strict in that area and many others, and I went to an area where they don't pay much attention to what the AMA says so they could treat people so they could live.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. Well, but this whole idea, though, that it's going to cost us $1 trillion, and everybody acts as though, well, the money will come from somewhere. It's going to come from a printing press, and it's going to be loaned to us by International Monetary Fund or Federal Reserve Bank or wherever, and it's not going to have anything to back it. It's all going to be debt-related, and it's just nothing but propping the system up with nothing. I mean, how long is it going to take before the whole thing collapses?